Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to a new episode from Guest Diary Show. As we know that our show is about the culture and the foreign people who live here in Kingdom Saudi Arabia. Today my guest is the Egyptian counselor and the deputy chief of mission. He's going to tell us about the Egyptian culture and also about the Saudi culture and how his view about Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Welcome Mr. Usama Khalil.
Welcome to you and thank you very much for receiving me.
Sir, we want to start our episode with a brief about your background and about your experience. Could you tell us more about it?
Well, mostly I'm a diplomat. I've been in the foreign service for about 20 years now. But before that, I worked as a journalist for 2 years in the Egyptian Gazette, that's the English Egyptian newspaper. Mm-hmm. And now I'm currently the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Egypt in Riyadh.
Yeah. I'd like to know about working as a diplomat and working as an editor in one of the famous newspaper, actually, as Gazette, Egyptian Gazette. What do you prefer, actually, writing and editing or just working as a diplomat?
Well, it turned out to be that I like being a diplomat more than writing, but I still keep it at heart. Writing to me, especially editing in the newspaper, was very fruitful because I was responsible for the international affairs.
Yeah.
And it helped me later on when I joined the foreign ministry. And being able to know exactly everything that's happening day by day through working in a newspaper was very beneficial to me.
Yeah.
The second thing I liked about working in a newspaper was to see the result of my work the following day. I don't have to wait for long to see my page or the page that I edited printed next day.
Yeah.
With its good sides or even bad sides or mistakes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make you wait long to see what you have done.
Exactly.
But being a diplomat, it gave me a very good chance to help serve my country.
In a political way.
In a political way, plus many other minor aspects like culture and economy.
Yeah.
And also social.
Yeah.
So this kind of career that I have now, it gives me a certain satisfaction in being able just to even help with a very minor detail to my country.
Yeah. Mr. Usama Khalil, I'd like to know, when you was writing in a newspaper, the Egyptian newspaper, Egyptian Gazette, were you writing about political articles or economic articles? What were you writing about?
Mostly it was international affairs.
Yeah.
But on the sides, I had certain news stories or interviews with a number of people. I did some pieces on computer and networking, something about art, ballet.
Okay.
And also
kind of lifestyle.
Sorry?
Lifestyle, I mean,
no, not really lifestyle. It was about the Egyptian culture and the input that some foreign artists have given in that sphere. Plus, I did some economic stories.
That's good.
But most work was editing.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's go to the culture points on our program. Again, is about the culture and Saudi Arabia and also your country, Egypt. We would like to know about your expectation before you came to the kingdom, how it was and how did you find it now when you come?
Well, Saudi Arabia for us has a very special place, for us as Egyptians.
Yeah.
Partly because many of either our relatives or friends have worked or lived or came for pilgrimage or Umrah.
Exactly.
So for us, we feel that we know almost everything about Saudi Arabia. So before coming here, I felt like I know what I'm going to see. Mm-hmm. What was missing was the feeling of just being in that place.
Yeah.
So you asked me about the expectations. Well, I expected exactly what I dreamt of. But there was some new, let's say, explorations or new things I did not know.
Yeah.
Some of them was the standards of the graces that the Saudi people have. Like, I did not, for example, expect to see European standards being applied here in services, in the street, in respect for personal freedoms. respecting for the queue in the market, in the shops.
Yeah.
I did not expect to see that. So I was very happy that the standards here are that high.
Yeah.
The other thing I did not really expect, but to see, is the vast area of land of Saudi Arabia. We knew that it's one of the biggest Arab countries, or it is the biggest Arab country in area, but I didn't expect to feel that it's that big.
In your opinion, what are the similarities between Egypt and between also Saudi Arabia and the culture?
Well, traditions and culture.
Traditions.
Well, I don't expect to. I did not expect to see a lot of difference between the Egyptians and the Saudis. Actually, what we share together, I can say, safely say, more than 2/3 in common of either aspects of traditional way of life, or cuisine, or culture. And we both have conservative outlook as a society, as members of the society. In Saudi Arabia, it's a little bit more in certain areas. And also in Egypt, we have still a lot of people who are very conservative.
Exactly.
And this is very much in common. So that's why when I'm dealing here with the Saudis or with the Egyptians who are living here, there is nothing surprising. We feel that it's an extension of our country, and they feel it's an extension of their country. As for tradition and culture, of course, the music is similar. We are a little bit liberal in that respect. The dances are very much similar, especially in the west of Egypt and Sinai. Plus the other little details, like the things that are social / culture. That how would the people do for amusement? How would the people do for hobbies? So a lot of similarities between the two societies, and I really like that.
Mr. Usama, I'd like also to ask about your traveling. Have you been to different countries?
Yes, I've been to a number of countries. For example, I've been to South Korea. I worked and lived there for 4 years. I also lived in Sudan and worked there. I lived in Malta, where I had my MA. And I traveled to other countries for shorter periods in Europe, Latin America, and in Asia.
I'd like to ask, what did you learn from each country?
Well, for us, we say serving in a country is like getting a PhD in that country. Because our type of work and living is very intense. Because we have to absorb the surrounding very fast. And to mingle with the people deeply, and also to do our political, economic, and cultural work. So from each country, I found I learned two sets of things. One is for my personal needs or for my life, and the other is for work. And the most country that gave me lessons, if you will, was South Korea, because it was the first time for me to see East Asia. It's the first time for me to understand another aspect of the people of the world that we did not really comprehend because of the distance, and because of the difference in language and culture. So I found that South Korea was very fruitful in my life.
South Korea. That's interesting, actually. But I'd like also to ask about traveling to some Arab countries and traveling also to some Western countries, or people who, countries that do not talk in Arabic. How do you find it? Do not speak Arabic, actually. How do you find dealing with those people?
Well, it's definitely not easy. Plus, there are a lot of shortcomings. Because you cannot always find somebody to listen and understand what you say. You cannot easily find help if you need certain translation. So it is not easy, I should admit. But it's
not easy to deal with them and to...
Exactly. And you will miss on a lot of things, and especially in the media. If the media is not really translated into other languages. And you also miss an interaction with the people, especially if the society that does not have or master foreign languages.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the benefit of that is it forces you to learn. It forces you to find ways to understand, and not to be lazy waiting for the information to come to you, or waiting for action to be comprehended.
Yeah.
So it was very beneficial serving in places where English is not really spoken or Arabic.
Yeah. Sir, I'd like also to ask about the reaction of your family and of, your friends when they knew that you are coming to Saudi Arabia. How it was their reaction?
Most of them were happy. First, because it was near to Egypt.
Yeah.
Second, because it's not different.
Yeah.
Much from Egypt.
And it's also a Muslim country, I mean.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
And very specific and special Muslim country because of Mecca and Medina.
Yeah.
I mean, being near Al-Haramain is very, very dear to any Egyptian and very precious.
Yeah, exactly.
Living here.
Yeah, which is good actually. So the reaction was positive.
Very much positive.
Okay, Mr. Usama, we actually need to go for a break. I'll be back again to you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to a break and we'll be back again. Again, ladies and gentlemen, and we have the Egyptian counselor and the Deputy Chief of Mission, Mr. Usama Khalil. Welcome back again, sir.
Welcome to you.
Thank you. We are back again to the Egyptian culture and to you again, sir. We would like to know about the new thing that you find and discover here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Of course, hearing about something is not like seeing it. So in the past and present, we always hear about Saudi Arabia. Because we have either friends or relatives living or working here, or those who come for pilgrimage and Umrah.
Yeah.
So those people translate the picture according to their ability.
Yeah.
But you never really feel it until you come and see it. So I started feeling this part of history where I studied about Saudi Arabia, where all the stories I heard I'm experiencing right now being in Saudi Arabia. So it completes the picture, you can say.
Completes the image that you got it already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And makes it like 100%, like you know now everything.
Yeah.
So the thing that was missing in telling the stories was meeting the people and interacting with them.
Yeah.
And one of the things I found and discovered here and I really respect is among the Saudis, they really respect the elderly. They respect the chief, whoever he is, the man of the house, the man of the family.
Yeah.
And I really respect that. And this is something we also maintain in Egypt, but with the developments, it's sometimes changing a little bit in some families. I really respect that. The other thing was to know firsthand And here will come the religious part again, where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, were living, moving and traveling. This is very special to all of us. And I really hold that in a very dear place in my heart.
Yeah. Mr. Usama, we'd like to know now the weather and the point of weather. I know that Egypt is a very hot country also, but sometimes in some parts it's humid. But here in Riyadh, comparing it to Cairo or to Egypt in general, how do you find the weather?
Well, to be frank with you, there are a couple of months here where you really cannot do much outside. But other than that, I'm enjoying being dry because we suffer a lot from humidity.
Exactly.
And there's something very important to me here, which is the clarity. There's not much pollution in the air, and I really feel that this is important for me and my children.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's manageable, especially at night, to do sports or go walking.
Exactly. And it's quiet also sometimes.
And quiet.
Yeah.
So I really don't feel or don't face any problems related to weather here.
Yeah. Mr. Usama, I'd like also now to go to the point of cuisine and the food and the Saudi food. How did you find eating some Saudi food like kabsa or jarish or any kind of it? How did you find it?
Well, there are, like every other person, there are certain dishes I liked and certain dishes I didn't like.
Yeah.
There are some that are very heavy in calories.
Yeah.
And some were very tasty to me, and some I really felt that they are not made for me.
Yeah.
So I like that. I also, because of traveling, I like to know what the cuisine is of each country. And here again, because Saudi Arabia and Egypt are almost sisters.
Exactly.
So I did not find a lot of different way of cooking.
But what is your favorite dish, Saudi dish?
Well, Mandi was
good.
I liked it, and I feel it's also the setting in the restaurant of eating Mandi is something. It's like an experience.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a change. My family likes that. So it is an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Mr. Usama, I'd like also to ask about your guidance in the country. Who was your guidance when you come from the airport and moving here inside Riyadh?
Well, it was a couple of my colleagues in the Consulate General when I arrived in 2007, and they really helped me a lot in the first few days and weeks, and they kind of made my landing easy.
Yeah.
Plus some other friends I came to know later on in my days. And don't forget that we have a very big number of Egyptian expats in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So I felt like at home from the first day.
Which is interesting actually, and it's good to have some mixed cultures inside Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's a good point actually. Mr. Usama, I'd like also to know about your visiting to Saudi houses of your friends or some of your colleagues. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been to Saudi houses, and one of the things that I noticed is the separation between men and women. It's also applied within the house.
Yeah.
It has some good points. We had dinners and lunches, and one of the things that you notice very quickly is the generosity that the Saudi people offer. It is sometimes reaches an extreme levels of generosity, and again I appreciate that because it reminds us of our history, and we wish that it will never go away in the future, because with modernization a lot of families are changing. So this is something I really liked, and it makes you eat a lot.
Yeah. And what about the style and the shape of the houses? What do you think about it?
It's very much similar. The Saudis like more vivid colors.
Yeah.
And it makes the house alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people like pale colors, but this is a striking fact I noticed.
Yeah. Mr. Usama, also I'd like to ask about traveling to different cities inside Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Have you traveled to Jeddah or Dammam or any city?
Yeah, I did that. I like the East Coast very much.
Yeah.
And I felt the reflection of the sea on the peoples in Dammam and Khobar. I did not have a longer chance to stay there, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
Jeddah for us, of course, will have the religious side being reflected, and if we go to Jeddah, it means we're going to Mecca.
Exactly. It's very close, actually.
It's Medina and Mecca.
Yeah.
But I will spend some holidays in the north in the next winter, and this area I really like to see.
Yeah. That's nice. So you like visiting and traveling to different cities inside the kingdom.
I told you it's a vast area, and this vast area needs to be discovered. I mean, you cannot just sit down in the office or at home.
Exactly.
And that's it.
It's good to travel. Sir, I'd like also to ask you, what if you are going to Egypt back? If you are going back to Egypt and you are going to settle in there, what would you like to have here from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to take it with you and to show to all your relatives and your family members?
Well, there are a lot of things I need to take with me. Personally, I would like to take so much big amount of Zamzam water with me.
Yeah,
of
the
course
holy water.
I cannot do that, but I find in photos and pictures a remedy for the missing the place or for the future, because also my life taught me to do that. So I think I'd take a lot of pictures with me of the places I've been to and the people I've met with.
Yeah. And also, sir, about your memories, are you going to take some good memories with you?
Well, so far most of them are good.
Yeah.
So whether on the work level or on the family level, so the memories, I'm happy that they are the way they are.
Yeah, that's good. Sir, my last question to you today for our episode and for our show is about your advice to all the viewers and to all the foreign people who live outside of the kingdom and who likes to come to the kingdom. What do you advise them, and what do you want to tell them in one sentence?
One sentence that's really difficult. Well, I advise them to open up, not to put a curtain between them and the Saudi people. Opening up will really make the other person open up for them and absorb this rare and very rich culture and society, because there are a lot of lessons to be learned from living here.
Yeah, and about the interaction between them and the Saudi people, what do you can say about it?
Well, they will have to be very delicate in certain matters, because any conservative society will deserve a lot of attention, but this does not impede in any way or put a fence, or should put a fence between any foreigner and any Saudi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Usama Khalil, for being with us, and thanks a lot for having the conversation with me.
I thank you. It's an honor to be on Channel 2 again, and I wish you all the success for this program.
As you see, ladies and gentlemen, my guest was the Counsellor Usama Khalil, the Deputy Chief of Mission. I will see you again next week with a new guest. Thank you very much.